Hi guys, my name is Aaron Pallian. I am the race director of the Texas City Triathlon, and I wanted to take just a moment to go over some pre-race information that most of you hopefully will find valuable come race morning, which is this Saturday, September 30th. So to keep this nice and short, I want to jump right in. First off, thank you for registering for the event. We have a slight amount higher than last year, and a lot of new athletes, a lot of first-time triathletes too, not just first-time athletes to Texas City. So that's great to see for the sport in general, and we greatly appreciate you guys. One thing before we get started, we can definitely still use volunteers if you guys are traveling with anyone or know anyone in the area that is willing to give up a little bit of their time that morning. That would be great. The volunteer sign-up button is right here. We do donate to schools too. If anyone knows any schools or groups in the area, the more people that sign up, the bigger the donation in their name. We do volunteer hours for kids as well that are in high school, middle school. And additionally, there are 2 volunteer positions that are certified lifeguard and kayakers that bring their own kayaks that we're paying between $100 and $150 for at the moment. So if you could help us by sharing that or passing the word along, that would be great, guys. As we scroll down here, I'm going to skip by the maps real quick because I want to go to the schedule of events and just talk about that briefly. I'm not going to go over packet pickup options and all of that and the procedure and where that is. I sent you guys a detailed comprehensive email today that will also go out Thursday before packet pickup as a reminder. All the information you need is in there. There's also information in here. It's the same thing I pulled from the website. So no need to rehash that. Let's jump right into event morning. 5 a.m. is when transition opens. This year, it's down on the dike. If you did it last year, it was up on the hill. It's quite a bit closer to the swim exit, which is more convenient. It's on pavement, which is nice. So that's something you guys can look forward to. It is further away, but keep in mind, if you wear your helmet when you park, you can ride your bike all the way over to transition. So just keep that in mind, guys. It becomes a lot shorter when you don't have to walk your bike. Same thing on the way out once you claim your bike from transition. So transition opens at 5. For those of you that paid for race morning packet pickup, there's about 100 of you now. That is going to be available at the gazebo on your way over starting at 5, but that will end at 6:30 because we want to make sure all of you have enough time to get down to transition and out of it before it closes at 7 a.m. Transition will close promptly at 7 a.m. Sunrise is at 7:13 a.m., as you see here, and the anthem and announcements will be played at 7:15 a.m. Not far from transition where swim start is. I'll show you that in a second when we go to the maps. The duathlon begins at 7:25. That'll start first, 5 minutes before the triathlon starts. 7:30 a.m. is when the triathlon and aquabike start, but there are waves to this. The first wave will be our neon yellow caps at 7:30. That'll be age group men 45 and older. 7:33, 3 minutes after, will be the neon orange, the second wave, and that's age group men 44 and under. 7:38 is the neon pink, wave 3, all age group women. And 7:41 is the neon green wave, which consists of all aquabike, Athenas, Clydesdales, Guardians, Paras, and Tri relays. So you can see there's 3 minutes between each wave. I did add 5 minutes between the second wave of men and the women, just to give the women a little bit more breathing room here so that they're not mixed in with the men as much. So hopefully that helps a little there. We'll talk about how those wave starts are going to happen here in a minute. 9:15 a.m. is when your bike claiming should start. We will allow people in while the race is still happening, but it will be very few at a time to claim their bike. If we let you in and the race is still happening, just be very aware of your surroundings and respectful of those that are still racing. The mass of people will be allowed in once the last biker has gone, or the last runner has gone out on the run course. Last bike's in and last run has gone out. So that should be around 9:15. It could be a little sooner, shouldn't be after. 9:30, we'll have an official awards ceremony, although we do have grab and go awards. So as you finish, and you can scan the QR codes that are going to be littered around post race on A-frame boards by the timing trailer. There should be signs up by the awards too that you can scan QR codes. If you need to know the results, there should be some tablets available over by the timing trailer, and you can ask Tony, our timer, or any of his timers to look up your results. Once you've confirmed you do have an award, or you have won an award, you can head over under the gazebo and there will be awards for you guys to claim. Those are grab and go. You do not have to stay for the ceremony. If you would like to stay for the ceremony and have your name mentioned, step up on the podium, have a picture taken, that's fine. You can also do the step up on the podium and take your picture prior to that as well. You don't have to stick around for that. So lots of options there, guys. By 10:45 a.m., we do have to have all the bikes claimed from transition down on the dike. The city of Texas City has been very gracious in allowing us to close down the dike longer than we did last year even. And in doing so, I want to try and get it open as quickly as possible. So make sure you guys come claim your bike out of transition and do that by 10:45 a.m. So before we go up to the race maps, let's just go over some of the other important info real quick. Event address, really the only address you need to know is Bay Street Park Gazebo. Transition will be down on the dike at First Lady Pavilion. But here's a map that shows Bay Street Park. Once you get there, you just keep walking down Dike Road all the way onto the dike, and it's right there. You really can't get lost. All the roads are closed down for the event, with the exception of about 2 miles on the bike. But those 2 miles that are open, you guys aren't using in the morning to get anywhere. Those are further out on the bike course. So parking. I'll show you exactly where this is, but you cannot park within the race itself, the race course. The bike course does encircle the entire run course and post race. So we have to keep everyone outside of that. Any of the numbered streets leading up to the park are available for parking. It's street parking, just like anywhere else, any other time. If it says don't park, don't park. If it's open for parking, you can park there. Just be aware that most of the street parking is in front of people's houses, and you're doing that at 4:30, 5:30 a.m. So be very respectful as far as noise and lights go in the morning, because people are probably in there sleeping, and we want to be invited back. So here under parking, it says where not to park: Bay Street Park, Skyline, but these areas are all going to be shut down anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's just going to be automatically shut down. Restrooms, you're going to have some restrooms at transition and also at the park when you're done. We'll go over that when I get to the map. Hydration, we're going to have water and Gatorade at every hydration stop. There's going to be one when you exit transition onto the run right away, and then one around mile 1.1 and one around mile 2, maybe just after. So I'll show you where those are going to be. For post-race food and drink, we are going to have tacos again, breakfast tacos, and then snacks that we'll get like at Costco, just grab snacks you can grab with your hands. And then you'll have a individual bottle of water or Gatorade, whatever you want, and we'll work on getting some kegs out there for you guys as well. Medical, we'll have medical throughout the course provided by Yellow Jacket Event Medical. They'll just kind of follow the event as it goes, stationing themselves down by transition in the swim, which is also right on the bike course. And then they'll have someone at the finish line and kind of move with you guys throughout the day, with the last person all the way through the end of the race. Awards we already spoke about. Awards are overall champions, top 3 for the tri, and the aqua bike and the duathlon, as it says up here. And then Masters champion, top male and female Grand Masters champion as well. And then the rest for the tri only are all the 5-year age groups, 3 deep, Clydesdales and Athenas, Guardians, which is a new group that we started this year, which is police, EMS, fire, and military. The team challenge is we will award a trophy with 5 comp codes for free entries next year to the team that has the most people signed up come race day, and then also the fastest team will be awarded that. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Timing chip worn on your left ankle, always, please. And for those of you that don't know, it's left ankle to avoid your crank. Never really had anything get caught up in a crank of a bicycle, but as soon as you say that, something's going to happen. So keep it on your left. Race number placement, your bibs are going to go on front and center when you run. You don't need to have them on the bike. For those that are in the duathlon, if you put them on during the duathlon and then you want to keep them on during the bike, you can. You feel free to take them off if you'd rather ride without them. But when you're running, you need your bib on. And when you're cycling, you just need one of the stickers is front and center on the helmet, and the other one is on matching sides of either your seat post, your fork, or your top tube if the seat post of the fork don't work for you. So those are the number placements. We do not have body marking. It's not really something you need to do, but we do realize that you want to know what person, as you're passing them or racing alongside, you want to know what race they're in and how old they are. So on the left calf, we're going to do Sharpies. We're going to mark a T for triathlon, a D for duathlon, A for aqua bike, or R for relay. And on the right calf, we will do your age. But the way that's going to be done is not as you enter transition. When you're in transition, each of the rows will have a steel bucket on the end that has Sharpies in it. So you can mark your own calves in that way. You can mark each other's calves. You can ask staff for help. No problem doing that. But we don't want to clog up getting into transition because you guys already have your numbers on the bike. You already have your number on the run. And during the swim, you can't see those numbers anyway. And the identifying factor on the swim is going to be the timing chip because that's linked to your number as well. So as far as body marking, guys, that's really just for you when you race. Peace of mind to know who you're coming up on, what race they're in, how old they are. So that's why we're going to leave it to you guys to do that in transition. It's been done that way in a lot of other races successfully, so we know it can be done. So go ahead and take care of that. We will mention it race morning to remind you guys that it's there, and we will help you get that taken care of after you enter into transition. All right. So the rest of it down here, if you guys need any lodging, there's some discounted lodging. A lot of the places, given the current state of things, weren't offering discounts, but they really welcome the business and would love to work with you guys. But I have listed the discounts up top here, but all of these hotels are great here in Texas City and definitely appreciate your business. The city's been very, very supportive of the event. And so anything you guys can do to show them business while you're down there would be great. So let's go back up real quick to the maps. All right, so I'm going to open these. Give me 1 second. Bike, run, and we'll do the interactive. So the interactive course map's a bit busier. After I'm done explaining it, I'll kind of go to the illustrated one, but okay. So these purple areas here, this is where I would recommend parking. Last year, everyone parked off 9th for the most part, I think, and it worked out great. We'll have about 450 to 500 people in the event, but you can really park on any of these side roads that are numbered as long as there's space to park. Don't block driveways, fire hydrants. I mean, basic stuff, guys. You can park at the school here, this elementary school. There's lots of parking there, and you can just ride up. It's a lot easier than it looks. 8th Street or 8th Avenue also has parking, and it leads right up to the actual intersection where you're going to cross over. So 8th and 9th, great areas to park. This area right here will be completely closed. There won't be, you can't come in here with cars. The only cars that'll be allowed in there will be lifeguards and kayaks trying to come in, but you can ride your bike down here. So when you get to this intersection, just look out for cars going on Bay Street because that's possible. They might still be there. But once you cross onto Dyke Road, there shouldn't be any cars minus those kayakers. So still have your head on a swivel. but you can ride all the way down here. This is a hill here you'll ride over. Transition last year, for a point of reference for anyone revisiting this race, was right here on Skyline. So you'll go down, and transition now is down at First Lady Pavilion. Okay, so you're going to come in and rack your bike in the morning. You should have your number on the bike rack itself. Your timing chip will be there as well. Everyone's timing chip will be strapped to the bike rack right next to your number. So just grab that off there and put it on your left ankle. When we exit everyone out of transition, we will walk them down here. Now, you do not need shoes. As of now, this should all be sand. This is not sand right now. It's gravel, and it's not comfortable to walk on. But the city will be bringing in sand to lay a path all the way from where the pavement ends right here, all the way to the swim start right here, and then from the swim exit, connecting back to the swim in. So this section here won't have sand, but it's pavement. We'll blow that off, make sure there's no debris or anything for you. But the rest of this should be sand. We will have either kid pools or 5-gallon buckets of water, something for you to step in when you exit the sand onto this pavement so that you can get the sand off your feet. So be aware of that. If you do want to bring any sandals down or anything like that, you can put them at the swim exit. We're not going to be responsible for those, but you're certainly welcome to do that. If you do that, I would not put anything that you need for the run down here, because if something were to happen to it, now you don't have run shoes. So just a bit of advice there. Once we exit you guys all out, you're going to go down to the swim start. And for those of you that were in the race last year, we had a lot more buoys than I'm showing. It proved to be too many. We also are going to simplify this a bit. The sand's going to go into the water. And for those of you that raced, you'll remember there's a row of shells there, probably about 5 to 6 feet of shells right when you get in the water. It is not comfortable on the feet. But once you get past that, it's all sand, all throughout the swim, all the way back in. So it's quite comfortable once you get past the 5 or 6 feet of the row of shells that wash in with the tide and the waves. We can't get rid of that, but what we can do, they're going to dump the sand, they're going to make the sand path, and they're going to dump it into the water here. Now, once they do that, we are going to lay down the rubber mats that we had last year. Since we don't need as many of them leading out of the water, we're going to use those to get you guys comfortably over that shell line, and it should work without problem. They're very heavy mats, shouldn't be an issue. So the goal, if it goes according to plan, is to have a chute of fencing here and line you guys up according to waves and start you from the shore. It'll be a wave start. And when the gun goes off, you start, you get in the water, and it's probably not swimmable until about halfway out to this first buoy. Whether it's dolphin diving, whether it's, running in and it goes from being shin deep to waist deep. Whenever you can physically swim, you should swim. Wading out in water that's waist deep doesn't do you any good when you can probably swim in that. So I would say go until you're sure you can start swimming, no matter how shallow that is. And you're going to swim to this first green buoy. Now, last year we had all orange circular buoys. We had people tell us they weren't as visible as they would have liked. So I did order 2 bright neon triangular buoys that sit on top of the water and don't sink in. They're 5.5 foot. So those should be very visible. So you're going to swim to that first one. You're going to hang a left. One of the older orange, yellow, or the orange ones will be in the middle just to maintain the course. And then you'll hit the second green buoy and you'll hang a left around that, keeping it on your left. And you'll just come right in for shore. Now, the swim entrance will be marked with 2 swim entry flags that are nice and bright. They're yellow. Same with the swim exit. The yellow, the safety yellow, neon green, whatever you want to call it. But they're bright and you'll be able to see them. So at the swim exit, same thing. There's swim exit flags there. So you just swim in. Whenever you can stand up and you want to come in, come on in. You'll have rubber mats taking you over that shell line here, and then you'll come into transition. So that is the swim. The duathlon that starts 5 minutes prior will start right next to the swim start. So I'll conveniently be able to start you there. You're going to run down the side of the road to this point right here. And there'll be a flag there that says duathlon start. I have 2 duathlon start flags. One will actually be the start. The other one will be the U-turn. You guys will just U-turn and come right back down the road, and you will join into transition just as the triathlon people are and the aqua bike people are, you'll come right in, swim in, same path that they're taking. And from that point on, it's the exact same for you. Okay. So for the bike, you're going to get on the bike, and it's basically the same course as last year. It wasn't earlier in the year, but we changed it back because we realized it was not the direction we wanted to go. So it's the same as last year. You're going to come out of transition. You're going to turn right. You're going to go up the little hill here onto Skyline. Sorry, this is really jerky all over the place, guys. Onto Skyline. This is a one-way road. All these roads are closed, guys. You're going to hammer it all the way down. The yellow course here is the bike. When you get down towards Beach Drive here, it becomes open road right on this corner here. So be aware. And there is a big cement block right here that kind of narrows you in. We'll have some cones there for protection, but, or just to not protection. You hit it. Be careful. But as long as your head's up and you're looking at what you're doing, there's no issue here whatsoever. You just make sure you're to the right, you avoid it completely. There should be a police officer or two here, and you can make a left-hand turn. But like with any course, once it becomes an open course, head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings and be responsible for your own safety, even though we're doing everything we can to keep you safe. So Bay Street right here, this road is open to traffic. I think last year while I was out there, I counted maybe anywhere from half dozen to a dozen cars the entire morning. So it shouldn't be that busy, but still you're sharing the road. So stay to the right, allow people to pass. As you come down here, you're going to merge with 25th Avenue. So you may have some traffic coming over. Just pay attention to the signs here. You should be in the right lane, but we're still talking to the police about that. If that changes, just pay attention to the signs right here and do whatever they say. But again, you should be in the farthest right lane of traffic, and you're going to come all the way down. And here you'll turn back onto Dyke Road. And once you turn here, you're off the open road. You're back onto the closed road again. You'll come in the way you did in the morning on your way to transition. You'll just keep coming, and you'll pass by transition, and you'll go all the way down the dike, all the way down to the very end here, and you'll do this loop. It's 5 miles down, 5 miles back. So the loop around town is about 5 miles here in the beginning, and then you'll go 5 miles down, 5 miles back for right at 15 miles. You might be just a tad short. I think it's like 14.95 or something like that. But you'll come back in, and just before transition, you'll dismount your bike and you'll go into transition. One thing about the bike I did forget to mention is that right in here, there is a big hill. It's really short, but it's steep. You'll have no problem going up it. It's no issue whatsoever. But there are 4 sets of speed bumps on the incline side of it. There's none on the decline side. So once you get to the top, you're good to blast down the back half. But the front, there are speed bumps. We do have warning signs leading up to it. We will have a guy here, his name's Norm, screaming at you guys to slow down, be careful. And we take it one step further because we can't remove the speed bumps. We have the same rubber mats that you enter the water in. We use those to go over the speed bumps. We put 3 on double sections of each of the bumps. And so it should greatly reduce the bump that you would hit if you hit it without them. You will still feel the bump, but it shouldn't eject you from your bike like it would without the rubber mats. So just be aware of that. It's nowhere near as bad as people thought based on what I said last year. That was the overwhelming consensus. But I do want to make you very aware of it as you go over. Okay. So that's it for the bike. Once you're back in transition, sorry, going crazy here. Okay. Once you're back into transition, rack your bike, get your run stuff, and you're on your way. Right here is where the aid station is going to be. It might actually be in transition, but it'll be somewhere in this area. The first aid station right there. When you come out, it'll have water and Gatorade. We'll do our best to have ice there too, guys. I know how hot it's been in Texas this year. So we do have extra ice on order. So I will do my best to have that at all 3 of the run aid stations and the finish line for you. So when you exit, be aware that we have done the calculations, and even the last slowest duathlete or triathlete that comes out of the water onto the bike, or aqua bike athlete, should be out of transition and up onto Skyline on their bike by the time the fastest triathlete comes off the bike and is onto the run. So there should not be a crossover here. There is a slight chance that there would be. If there is, it's going to be maybe 2 to 3 athletes on the bike or the run crossing over, but there should be so much space between you guys that it shouldn't matter at all. And our transition people will be more than aware of what's going on, and we'll be able to kind of maneuver that if need be. But our calculations show that there should be 15 minutes between any kind of crossover. So we should be safe there. Once you run up the road and onto Skyline, same way you came out on the bike, you're following the exact same bike course, right? So you're going to run down Skyline. Stay more towards the left, guys, just because if there are any bikes at all, then you want to make sure that, you're off the road. But again, shouldn't be a problem. You're going to come all the way up here and you're going to turn off. There's a little hill going down here. You'll see a water stop. And the same guy that was screaming at you to watch out for the speed bumps will probably be right here, manning this aid station and making sure everyone makes this turn, at least in the beginning. So this is about a mile in. This aid station is at 1.1 miles. So at 1.1 miles, you're going to turn off Skyline, go down this hill. This is all paved. Go over this bridge, and then you're going to stay straight, and you're going to go do a little loop out here and an out and back, and then come back, and then you'll make a right turn when you come back the same way. So when you make this right turn, this is all new trail that you haven't been on before, and this is actually trail. It's not paved. It's like a crushed gravel. It's really easy to run on, not a problem at all. It's not like it's single track and technical or anything. So second water stop is right around mile 2. There will be mile markers out there as well, so you can look for a big mile 1 flag here, mile 2 flag here. And then, so that's the third water stop, because you have one when you come out of transition, one at mile 1, one at mile 2. And you'll just run all the way down these trails. Look for signage that we have. It'll most likely just be cones that you follow kind of sporadically. You can't really get off the course too much, but just keep coming on the path all the way down. And this is where you get into post race. Your finish line's right here, a big on your mark inflatable. When you cross the line, you'll have water, Gatorade, and then post race you can get your beer and get your your meal and awards if you got one. And the restrooms that I talked about are over here on the side if you need those. There should be washing stations up by where the food is. And that is really about it, guys. You're going to have to come back down here when it's done to get your bike. I know that's a little bit of a ways, but you can always ride your bike back, like I said. Restrooms, I forgot to talk about that. Restrooms will be on the backside of transition right here by the pavilion. And Justin with Bike Minded Guru is nice enough to come out, and he will be bike support for you guys as far as if you need anything in the morning, some last minute stuff, fill up your tires, anything like that. Keep in mind, guys, it's not meant to be free tune-ups on your bike. Please come to this race with your bike ready to go. Bike mechanics at the race are meant if a derailleur gets jacked up on the way to the race, or a tire is flat all of a sudden for whatever reason, or you can't figure out your shifting. But that should be something that surprises you, and it was fine the night before, but oh my gosh, I got here and I don't understand what's going on. Do not abuse the situation with the bike mechanic being there, please. Yeah, guys, that is about it as far as this goes. And these are the, let's see, hold on. These are the illustrated course maps. It's a little less complicated, but you can see a better rendition of how the swim goes, how to get into transition there. This is the bike course. Just does a loop like this and an out and back. The illustrated maps are quite a bit easier to see and understand. However, keep in mind that this interactive map is great because if you're on site or if you share this with a spectator and they're on site, they show up as a blue dot on here if they pull this up while they're at the event. So it's a great live interactive map when you're actually on site as well. Okay. So I believe that's about it, guys. This is a USAT sanctioned event. So hold on, let me stop my share. This is a USAT sanctioned event. So drafting rules apply. We will go over that in the morning. We have USAT officials there. I will get them on the microphone during the announcements to go over some of the most basic rules with you guys, but drafting definitely applies. Be careful of that, as well as headphones. I've seen a lot of people using headphones at races all across the country, actually, that are USAT sanctioned. And they just, I don't know if they don't know the rule or what, but you're not allowed to have music on you, whether it's playing into the air like a speaker or whether it's in your ears. It's just too distracting. So do not have that out, guys, during the run or any part of the race, especially. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for listening in on this meeting and going over everything with me. If you have any questions, please reach out via email, Aaron@onyourmark.net, ONURMARK.net, and I'll take care of you. So looking forward to seeing everyone. Have a good day.